Say so right now until the truth comes out. I gave you everything, and I gave you everything. Say so right now, left alone, cried out. I gave you everything, and I gave you everything.
M-Rack. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully I have everything I hope I can get everything done within 8 minutes. I haven't done all the stuff just yet, so hopefully it's going to be there before the first game starts. So hopefully it will be done. Yep, just had lesson early on, so I didn't have a lot of time to set up everything. So for those so that I need to upload the game, and I need to just generate a set of results from my box, which if you don't mind waiting, I'll be back very soon. And I'm loading the game, so oh my lord. Okay, fix the problem. Oh, God. Yes, got everything generated, yes. Okay. Seems my Photoshop doesn't want to load, which is not nice. But this is the pro tournament format. It will be a double round robin series, so it's like your local football team, and no, your local football league, and it's the best of 7 series, and the top 4 will go to the Blitz EU Cup. Tiebreaker will be as follows, but I don't think that will be an important one. We don't have a lot of time to talk about that. The maps tonight, we're going to begin with Faust, Vineyards, Normandy, and Wintermeer Knocker, and then we will have Descent, Mayan Ruins, Alpenstadt, and Port Bay. The schedule. If you want to read the schedule, pause the stream. And the first game will start very soon, in around 6 minutes. I think there is a 5-minute delay of the stream, so the time written here is exactly when the matches will start, but for this stream it will be 5 minutes later to prevent teams from stream sniping. Second game will not be at 10 past but at 3 past, 8 in Hong Kong time. This is E7 roster, great team there. Feast roster, and we'll be following Feast mainly today, and apologies if Bfrost with the single S, not double S. And this is Berlin's, not Berlin's team, very much sorry. We will see Berlin's pep talk in play. We could. Donation. This is how you could donate to my stream, and here it is. You will see very soon what's going to happen. And yes, RM versus Ho, EA versus HLV, Feast versus E7, and GB versus ID. We probably will be staying until the grand final has finished for the Challengers tournament. So, looking at the table, currently E7 Feast tied with 2 game wins or 6 points, and then EA and Ho has yet to receive a single point. Alright, so let's get into the game, and we have the better pass. So I think the room is up, so let's go in. We only have 3 minutes left to go. I'm just hoping that Photoshop will load, and then I can put the results in, but if I'm unable to do so. I'm just going to type then. Laos versus IV, NQV7 versus Der. Okay, so Mabox is predicted for Challengers tournament NQE7 to win 3-1 against Der, and Laos to win IV 3-2. As for the games you see tonight, RN is predicted to win Ho 4-3, and the games you'll be seeing soon, EA to be winning against HLV. HLV to win EA 4-3, very close. But surprisingly, E7 is predicted to win Feast 4-1. I think because E7 has beaten Feast a couple of times 3-0, so I think that is the reason why it's getting it's predicting a pretty dominant result. And ID to win against GV 4-3, which is another close one, but will we see such yeah, I think we will forget about Photoshop getting a fancy graphic soon. And we are on Faust. Yep, I'm just going to see if I can get everything done. only like 50 seconds remain to go. Well, let's just go and look. We'll get the graphic after the first match then. Feast. Looking at this, also I need to get the transition. I have very little time to get everything done, so please, please forgive me for being very slow. Because I only have like less than an hour to get everything sorted for this stream, which it seems everything is going together on the stream, which is good. Nothing seems to be not working, and I would like to close the blinds, but I don't have time for this. But Feast will be seeing double IS7, double 50B, double Vickers Light, interesting, M6O, and the E7, we'll see what's going to happen soon, and please pray that I got the right transition, which I did. Thank you very much. And I didn't even ping my stream notification squad for this, so yeah, shows how little time I have. Like yesterday, I had like the Friday Night of Wild talking about the NA server, and after that, I have to go to sleep immediately, and I really have no time to prepare for this one. Let's head up high. E7 on the other hand, going for Nuggets and Fries and M4 double 50B, 422 by Tank Pro, Temple in the IS7, Desert Rose, Crown Bargain, double M6O by Milkshake and Where GG. We're looking at, oh, Shugu and Mugu getting a lot of spots up. We'll be putting a great shot into Temple. I mean, just looking at, yes, I have the right scoreboard, so yes, don't worry. I don't have to just change logos and so on, just good that I have automated a lot of stuff now, so that I don't have to change. I just need to find a way to automate my Thomas Peters, no, my map box. But absolutely, Temple got absolutely shut down by Feast Crossfire, so that was a really good start for Feast here. And Temple is in deep trouble. So with Feast going for B as well, it seems that Feast will have a cap lead, and it looks really good at the moment. It is the case with Feast having B and Johnny's not taking a lot of hits, which is good. Where GG trying to unleash entire clip onto Johnny, and it is going to be an interesting one. Still, E7 with a slight hip on pool lead, but that is kind of deceiving because Feast has 2 Vickers Light. Meanwhile, E7 only has 1 medium tank. So originally, E7 has a lot more hit points than Feast. And with the hit points being quite close and neck and neck, and you can see how Tank Pro can't really put the shots into the other tanks, but it seems Feast has surrounded Nuggets and Fries and Tank Pro trying to run away, but they've taken quite a lot of hits. F-Silver also taken some hits here. We are now seeing E7 also dropping hit points, but also Feast potentially in better positions. They don't have to drop hit points. It's actually E7 that is under more pressure. Instead, A is trying to be captured once again by E7, and they will do that. Meanwhile, we're seeing Feast rotating towards C. Well, let's follow those Vickers Lights at the moment. What do they have in mind here? Oh, what they have in mind is to crash into a bunker, but that's because it's a tank. We're not going to be seeing a big car crash, so that's good. Anyway, with James taking more hits near B, it's going to be still a close one. Both teams have 2 caps now, and E7 will need to kill more than 1 tank because because the deficit is more than 80. But we are seeing Feast looking at slides by Waifu, trying to go for A, trying to further their the cap point advantage now with A getting captured. F Silver takes a big hit, so it's still the hit points is still contentionable. It's in contention. Let's put it this way. I'm not sure if contentionable is even a word, but looking at E7 now trying to push onto James. No bonus codes, unfortunately, and 3 caps ready for Feast. So really, time is running out for E7. They need to get those kills out of the way. M4 is killed, but you have Nuggets and Fries still on the drop reader. Not sure why he's going in, but takes a big HE shell for Giants, my wife. This is the power of the HE shell of the IS7. And B will be captured by Nuggets and Fries, and that is pretty much why Nuggets and Fries is going out. Where GG and Milkshake are both dead, so now Feast is really close in securing the first win, but Temple is also dead, so really only 1 kill away. But even that, Feast 990 cap points it's going to be Feast getting the first win, and it will be the case. Tempo is dead. E7 lost so many hit points with Tempo in that I7, and I think that pretty much costed the game dearly. And looking at the damage done by Feast, 3 times 3 more than 2k, but only E7 with 2. And obviously Feast has done a lot better than the E7 in terms of that push and coordination. E7 looks quite flustered all over the place. They were trying to get attacks on multiple fronts, and they really didn't really consolidate onto one single pocket pretty much. And in the end, Feast was in pretty much in control of the game, and they got the win. And it's going to be 1-0 for Feast. You won't get any bonus codes, but you will get some prizes from watching this stream. So let's go. All right. Okay, so just wait for a moment. I'm just going to get this graphic up, and hopefully it's in 1 minute. So, well, there's only 20 seconds remaining, so probably not enough time for this. But going back onto fouls, we have double 50Bs, double IS7, and M60, double Vickers Light once again for Feast. E7 now going with triple M60s, a T22, an FE422, a 50B, and an IS7. Natforce says we forgive you for everything, but we still blame you for everything. So I think you're just talking nonsense here. Well, anyway, let's go back. Maybe we will get the graphic up after this match. Really, I'm so sorry. Just at the moment, it seems Mapbox is jinxing E7. We're now going back to Faust. This time, will E7 fare better? Now they're taking 2 mediums. To pretty much level with if he's going for double Vegas Light. Try use my wife voice of promo. Oh my gosh. Well, let's look at Suga and Mugu here. We are seeing Suga and Mugu going into the southwestern corner with C potentially getting captured by Desirose and Tank Pro, and Suga and Mugu maybe putting shots into the bush, and no one is in the bush. Not even Bushka is in the bush, so Suga and Mugu will not do any damage on that. And E7, oh, Suga and Mugu spotted quite a lot of tanks of E7 trying to go through A. If Suga and Mugu doesn't run away, that is going to be a bad move here. But no, he's trying to run away, trying to draw the attention from E7 to be more aggressive on A, but they haven't spotted those IS7 yet. So E7, they have to be mindful of getting really aggressive, but already Jahi takes a hit, and Temple also takes a hit there, but have to be really careful. The memories of the last match, taking a lot of hits, but no, taking a double tap, but I think bounced a shot somewhere, but still fine. Hit point still neck and neck, so it's not the end of the world taking 2 hits with V's only taking 1. But E7 looking to get a great shot into Bifrost. Man, M4 didn't really quite penetrate, but this time it's actually the other way around, where GG bounced and M4 penetrated. It's kind of a competition between M4 and also GG who can penetrate the most shots, and it seems M4 is leading this competition, but with D getting captured by Feast earlier on, it's once again E7 with a cap disadvantage, and they need to make a rotation. Once again, E7, I'm just using once again too many times, so E7, E7 with, oh, sorry, my bad, Feast does not have a cap lead on D. E7 has a cap lead on C, so what am I? I'm just daydreaming at the moment. I'm not fit for streaming pretty much today. I'm just going to embarrass myself in front of everyone watching this stream. I'm very sorry if you're trying to get rewards from this stream and you see me, if you hear me talking nonsense, then it's pretty much my fault. And well, I don't know. Jahi say watch IS7 get ammo racked up, probably not. But with E7 getting both A and C, pressure is definitely on to Feast right now. And it's Feast, they need to chip away hit points of E7 because we're talking about 6 cap points of increase per 2 seconds for E7. So if you do the maths, we always love to do maths. So we're talking about around 100 seconds of time remaining for Feast, and if you need to you probably need to half that amount. Probably just less than a minute. They need to make a move in less than a minute, so pressure really onto Feast right now. It's mounting onto Feast, but they're still holding. They still have some time. Not sure if they are doing the maps like I do at the moment, but Feast, they will need to make a move somewhere, but A is heavily stacked up, so Feast pushing onto A will be a huge gamble, and I do think it might not pay off. I think they might want to go for B and C. That is probably my call, but you know, they don't know where E7 tanks are, so they might think that there will be a lot of tanks trying to defend B and C, but you cannot defend all the caps, so I think it's pretty much a Russian roulette right now. It's just go for one cap and hope that E7 doesn't have a lot of tanks watching that, but with the, I think there is a hint that E7 is heavily defending A, so if I were Feast, probably would go for either B or C, just to really, I think we'll probably go for C, because that means you will have 2 caps back up. But now, we are approaching 800 cap points territory, so once again, doing the maps, you just only have around less than a minute, halving that, 30 seconds left to go, so really, not a lot of time for Feast, 30 seconds to make a move, less than a minute before E7 will get 1,000 cap points. We're seeing now F Silver in the Vickers Light going into C alone. But will it be too little too late? Because already E7 with almost 900 cap points. We are now seeing Desert coming to shut F Silver down. And I think Feast, they might... I think they're kind of a bit... No, out of focus. I don't know what to say about this, but Desert 1 versus 1 against F Silver. Can Desert win this one? 1 versus 1 fight. Or will Desert Oh, it's a little bit of a low row. I think F Silver will kill off. No, it's Sugamuga killing off Desert but Tagpro will kill off F Silver, but Sugamuga will win that fight against Tagpro. Is actually now 5 versus 6. There is still a chance for Feast, but E7 is really close to winning this one. A has been captured. C is still not being captured, but now E7 just needed one more kill, and they will win this one, and they did. E7 with that kill onto Jahi, 1-1 now. Wow. Whichever team wins the first 4 matches will win the fixture. It's a best of 7 series. That is what is meant by a best of 7. E7 4 tanks doing more than 2k, and Feast 3 tanks doing more than 2k. We should be doing more than 2k, but it looks a bit like Feast does not really have a plan. And I think more to do with E7 holding the cap advantage really well. A lot of tanks positioned near A, and some tanks positioned near C. Well, the C almost got... I mean, the C almost failed for E7, but they did a much better job over to A, and that is what won them the game in the end. And Feast, I think it looked like they didn't really have a solid plan to tackle a cap point disadvantage situation. So now we are going to be seeing Feast changing up. We are on to Vineyards, which is quite an open map, so we will be expecting some mobility soon. Oh yes, so yes, I got Mapbox graphic ready now. So just let me save the file, and we will go back in and see what's going to be the tanks that the teams will take. And let me just update the scoreline. It stands 1-1 now for both teams. And close Photoshop. Yay! Feast! Triple M60, 50B, Batchat, 97, and Vickers Light. Going with E7 with a mouse. Oh, I'm not sure about this one. Hello everyone, hello Capsule, thank you for moderating. And if you want to get the rewards, can Capsule say something about that? Pretty much, I will pin that later. But the main point is enable your targeting cookies. If you're seeing a grey screen, you haven't enabled that cookie. So, there we go. Let's head up high and see what's going to happen here. And the red team with Feast on the north spawn going mostly to A. E7 blue team on the south spawn, I think might go for spots near the middle side. Let's see about Temple by Margaret. Sorry, I just yeah, it keeps reminding me of Margaret. But that is the problem when you listen to too many pop songs. Well, Milkshake and also Temper going also really aggressive. We will see a big bro coming down here, and who will win this fight? Two heavy tanks against one light tank, and I feel really sorry for F Silver here. But and Desirose ramming into F Silver. That is really cruel. But looking at Temper now, going to be in some sort of trouble. Milkshake's actually in. With very little few hit points now, this has descended into a pandemonium. Looking at Temple in that bad chat, having a lot of shots here. I think this is looking really good for E7 right now. I think Feast kind of threw off guard when E7 sent tanks to deal with the bad chats and so on, and the light tanks of Feast. And E7 seems to be under more control. Temple really running around, not taking any hits so far, but Sugamuga really trying to stop Temple from wrecking any more damage onto Feast. So we are seeing Feast making the counter push onto Milkshake. Finally dead. It's now 6 versus 5 hit points in huge favor of E7 right now. But we are seeing Slice by Waifu going to be down soon. Maybe not. It's going to be Desert Rose looking for Bifrost instead. Can Bifrost unleash the entire clip? James is dead. Desert Rose looking to put a shot into Bifrost, but Bifrost is able to put the entire clip into Desert Rose. Originally, Desert Rose with a lot of hit points gets clipped by 2 tanks now, 2 versus 5, and this is such a quick game. This is pretty much a CIS server style gameplay we're seeing here with Sugamuga taking a lot of hits. Nuggets and Fries will kill off Sugamuga, and I can't even cope with that with this kind of tempo. Well, no pun intended, but this is such a quick game. Slice by Waifu already the last person standing. We are only just 2 minutes into this game, and this is such quick rhythm, and I'm not sure if the viewers are catching this. This is such this is giving us this is really all. This is going to pretty much nudge us off our seats, and you know, our seats are not made of multiple sprayings, but we are seeing these 2 tanks doing more than 2k, but E7 4 tanks doing more than 2k, and well done to E7. Really, that push in the northwestern corner, focus fire and Feast really, well, didn't really expect that. Got them surprised, and E7 was in more control this time. Now they are now leading 2-1, and we're back on Vineyards, and are we going to be seeing such a quick game once again? We're going to see that soon. Okay, going back now. I have everything set. Hopefully, it's not impeding the flow of the stream too much. Now we're going to be seeing Feast going with double bad chats, triple M6COs, and a 50B going with E7 double M6COs, a 4202, a mouse, an I7, a 113, and a 50B. Just a bit worried whether I got the right maps. Yes, it's the right map. So. I think it's right. Everything is right. Yeah, we will go back in and see how Feast is going to come up against E7 here. 3 more seconds to go. Are we going to be seeing another quick match? We're playing we're essentially watching quick tournaments. Very quick tournaments, but second match of Vineyards. It's okay to love me if you, I mean, that doesn't make you a homo, which, it's fine. Now let's go in. If E7 Emerrex Jai is my wife, I will sell my soul to. What is this? Feast red team, this time going back to the northwestern corner, and E7 blue team going to the southeastern corner. We're seeing Nef Silver in the back chat trying to get a really advanced position in the northwestern corner. I think looking to reset A, but no one's going for A. E7 is not going for A. M4 might be going for A. Well, what will Feast think of a mouse trying to go for A? I think M4 is Assassin. Hello, Assassin. From Jokers. Well, please don't tell me E7. We have Assassin playing tonight. On the Asia server, but that would be really fun. But looking at E7 going really aggressive already towards the Feast spawn, but they have taken some hits, and the hit points are now neck and neck. Feast has captured B first, so that means E7 is under a cap point disadvantage. But looking at E7 already being so aggressive, Nuggets and Fries already at the spawn of Feast, with A being captured by M4 soon. Oh, are we seeing Feast under pressure now, with E7 being very far forward, pressing hard onto Feast? We could see Feast making a rotation onto Nuggies and Fries. Nuggies and Fries will be under pressure now. 3 tanks onto one, potentially Desert Rose. I do have a bad feeling for E7 on this one. Nuggies and Fries doesn't seem to be well supported, but moving backwards, you have Bifrost also. I mean, looking at Bifrost, could have shots onto Nuggies and Fries, but no way GG has Nuggies and Fries covered there. And Feast is trying to push onto Nuggies and Fries, but they have lost so many hit points trying to do so, and they're now in deep trouble. So well done to E7, really providing great support to Nuggies and Fries. Now Desert Rose trying to come in to provide a horizontal straight line with Nuggies and Fries, making it even more difficult for Feast to make a push. Now Desert Rose trying to push shots into James. And already now down to 1 shot, and James is now killed, and the turret flying. E7 now making a counter push onto Necromancer now. Necromancer in deep trouble. Desert Rose, not Desert Rose, looking to kill Necromancer, but that was a bounce, so it's not going to happen. It's going to obey the laws of physics and going to bounce somewhere else. With B going to be captured by where GG, looking at Feast are pretty much running around in different areas. They got A though, but that will not help a lot because they're going to lose Slice by Waifu soon, and that's the case. 4 versus 4, Nuggies and Fries are now dead, and we are now seeing B getting captured by E7 as well. 2 caps for E7, and Milkshake going in alongside Temple, looking for Jai's by Waifu, and I think the focus is on there. Milkshake looking to put another shell onto Jai's by Waifu, and that is going to be a kill. But B for us looking to kill WereGG with that last clip, but that is not the case. F Silver kill steals WereGG, and B for us must be very angry about this, but that doesn't matter at all because now 3 versus 3. Will Feast has a chance winning against E7. Mugu desperately trying to run away because we're seeing Temple looking for Mugu, but that was a great shot from Mugu. I think he could kill off Temple here. It's not over yet for Temple. No, not over yet for Feast. Bifrost is now dead. AF Silver looking for Temple, and that will bring it to 2 versus 2, but AF Silver bounces that shot. And bounces that second shot. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. That can be a big one. F Silver is on the drum reload right now. Mugu down to 1 shot. Not killing off Temple could be a big mistake here. F Silver is killed, and E7 1000 cap points. Mugu is dead. E7 3-1 now. They are on the match point. That was a speed run according to I agree with you. This one is much more dominant performance. E7 looking very dominant here. Feast I think that they are losing a little bit with the tempo E7 with the tempo really high pressing. It's like I'm not sure. I haven't watched a lot of football, but I remember Liverpool is known for high pressing strategies, and this is exactly what we're seeing from E7 right now. Pressing high, pressing quickly. They are really not giving a lot of room for breathing for FaZe. And FaZe, only 3 times doing more in 2K, E7 4 times doing more in 2K. They were very hesitant, trying to push onto onto that IS7, trying being really aggressive. I think that was not IS7, that was 1-3. That was Nuggy surprise. They were very hesitant trying to push that, and they lost so many hit points being so hesitant. They were a little bit out in the open, and because they lost so many hit points, it was a bit too difficult for them to win with push and so on. And although they went to like a 3 versus 3 situation, like they lost too many hit points already. So if they didn't lose too many hit points at the start, if they actually went decisive with that push, I think it could have been a FaZe game. To be honest with you, now it's 3-1. How can we get the rewards? Let's see if I can find the message from moderators. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Mutsu, for that template. I'm going to pin that soon. Hopefully we'll see more people showing up to watch this stream. Pin that. Pin. Brilliant. Change the scene. Yes, Normandy. This is the map where, if you remember correctly, last season, summer season, grand final, the tiebreaker. It was also FaZe versus E7, where E7 lost because they lost so many hit points with one tank. Can we see the same on Normandy? But with now match point to E7, will FaZe make a comeback? But FaZe, they don't have Berlin in the lineup, so not Berlin's pep talk. We're going to be seeing probably Jai's pep talk. Jai's pep talk is going to be good. I assume. I can't wait to hear Jai giving a good pep talk to the team, and I think he can give a good pep talk. Let's see if it's going to be the case. All for Jai's pep talk here, and Temple looking to cap D. Not sure, my choice of words are a little bit questionable at times. Not that it's going to sound a bit inappropriate, but anyway, if he's getting really aggressive onto D, looking to put shots onto Temple, but Temple is running away. But can James land a big shot onto Temple? No, Temple got away relatively unscathed with a captured already by E7C, could be captured by FaZe in no time, so that means 1 kill away for FaZe to flip it back to their favor. Capsule just got back from work. Then we're seeing E7 still holding. They just need to hold. They don't have to do much. They just have to not drop too many hit points, and that is pretty much their objective at the moment. The primary objective, the secondary objective will be to chip away hit points of FaZe and try to see if you can make a counter push. But if you got a cat lead, you don't need to do much unless you're very sure that the other team is isolated and you can make use of that. Sometimes it's good if you have the opportunity, you can make use of that, because you will never know if the other team will rotate and regroup, and suddenly you lost the opportunity. You might actually be under disadvantage after that. But we are seeing FaZe looking to pick up rotation, but that rotation is getting sported by Milkshake at the moment. I mean, seeing Milkshake putting a lot of great shells into FaZe at the moment, with Jai's my waifu bouncing that shot from Milkshake. We are seeing FaZe, that push seems to be incoming, seems to be coming soon, and E7, they still have a hit point pool advantage where GG, I think, going to put a shot into Sugar. Yes. Oh, but we're seeing a push from Jai's welfare. Bfrost looking to shut down Milkshake. This can work really well or not. But Jai rams into Milkshake. Milkshake is now down to potentially 1 shot. Oh, it's a bounce from Bfrost onto Milkshake, so that's not a good shot there. But looking at F Silver, great shot into Milkshake, I think. Slides by waifu. No, Jai's by waifu killing off Milkshake. Next tank they're going for might be Tank Pro, but hit points are still in favor of E7, but Tempo is now dead. That is the 7 versus 5 situation. The gun advantage at Feast possesses that can be an advantage for Feast. But you have Sugarbook and James B one shot, so it's still really close to call. There are so many brawls happening in different angles. B Frost is now dead. We are now seeing Sugarbook down to one shot, and Jaisma Waifu could be the next focus for E7. E7 is regrouping, and they're looking to make a comeback here. They now have the gun advantage, but Nuggets and Fries now down to one shot. The M60 Necromans is still really healthy, so I think Feast was not very well consolidated here. Now E7 pretty much now looking at the isolated tanks, now really diverting their forces really nicely. M4 is dead, M7 is dead, Nuggets and Fries is dead. 3 versus 3 hit points still neck and neck. But I think this could be E7's game. But where GG is down, unable to kill off Jahi now. 3 versus 2. Feast, Slice My Wife who captured B. And Necromancer is still really healthy. There are still 2 tanks remaining. Desert Rose, full health, but Tank Pro is really low in health. So I think we could say that Feast might have the advantage here. Jahi could be very important. If he survives, that means Feast will still have this kind of advantage. But let's see what's going to happen here. Desert Rose. Looking for Necromancer, but that was a bounce right here. Great shot onto Desert Rose from Necromancer. 2 shots already in. I think the third shell will also penetrate into Desert Rose. And Tank Pro coming from below. Slice My Waifu coming from behind. I think we are seeing Slice My Waifu putting a lot of great HE shells with that. The first one is a splash. Second one didn't really quite pan. Oh, but Slice My Waifu is now dead. Desert Rose need to push shells into Necromancer, and Necromancer will kill off Desert Rose, leaving Tank Pro the last person standing. And I think surely this is going to be Feast right now, unless E7 won it by caps. Tank Pro just needs to survive. But I think this is going to be extremely close. Let's go to Tank Pro. I think Niso shot onto Necromancer, but Jai's Waifu might be coming from behind. But Jai's Waifu is still very slow. I mean, looking at Jai's Waifu, it's crawling his way there. But I think Necromancer can't wait, because that means it's going to be a win for E7. But Jai's Waifu make sure it's not going to be a win for E7, and that is a great win for Feast in the end. Although E7 grouped up really nicely at the late game stages, but I think Feast with a solid decisive push this time, and E7 not being able to chip a lot of hit points off E7 at the start meant that Feast will get the win here. 4 tanks doing more than 3k. As for E7, 5 tanks doing more than 2k. It was super close. It could have gone either way. I don't think E7 has made a major mistake here, but Feast, I think really they got a lot more decisive this time. They were a lot more ruthless. So this is something that Feast has been lacking in the last few games, and this is probably going to signal a comeback from Feast potentially. Oh my goodness me. And now we're going to be seeing, let's see, we have more results coming in. ID. 1 GV 4-0. Oh no, what has happened to ID? What happened to GV? I mean, what happened to GV? Next we have, let's go to RM versus Ho. We're now seeing 4-1 to RN, and finally, oh, Ho finally won a match. That is good. That is good to know. EA. Oh, still play against HLV. It could be really close here. And are we seeing a tiebreaker here? We want to see tiebreaker all the time. I'm down for tiebreakers. Like, everyone is down for tiebreakers, yeah. So Feast, FV4202, double I7, triple M60 and VK. Looking at E7 with a 50B, an I7, a Crown Wagon, triple M60s, and a mouse. And let's go up high and see what's gonna happen. looking here, we're seeing Feast, red team from the south side, from the north side, going mostly to AB. E7 also doing something similar here, looking to go for B and A here. Okay, F Silver, great shot into WGG, and C might be captured by Tank Pro here, but WGG going into the middle. Oh, Sugar Mugu looking for 1 versus 1 brawl with WGG. Took a hit from Milkshake, however, trying to hold down with this plane. Wreckage here. Took a hit from somewhere as an edgy shell from I don't know where, but it seems Jahi and Sly is doing a lot of good shots onto WGG. Now WGG's down to 510. I think could be taken out soon. Slice on my way for looking to land a shell onto WGG. Already one tank down for E7, but they still have a slight hit point pulling, so that is not the end of the world for E7, but they have to be really careful with that. Got disadvantage they now possess, but Nuggies and Fries, I think, got a little bit too ambitious here, trying to go out in the open and take a lot of hits in return. I need to go back now. Feast could make a counter push onto Nuggies and Fries. Meanwhile, E7 still struggling to hold. I think Feast could have the advantage here. Bifrost is now going in, might be alone though. Nuggies and Fries still really unhealthy here. And the hit point is still in favor of E7, but we can feel the pressure of E7 right now. Feast has done a tremendous job at the moment with the hit point push sharing. Although it doesn't look good on paper, but at least when you are seeing Feast under a hit point push disadvantage and they still have a gun advantage, that bodes well for Feast, I would say. And we are now seeing Desert Rose. Oh, bounce onto Bifrost. Receives a hit from Bifrost. Oh, well, wow. We're seeing some push coming in soon. E7 is still holding on. I think Feast, once again, their hesitation, their inability to finish tanks out, to get tanks out of the way, to finish the game, could be hurtful. But now, Jai's about to going in. I think got isolated. This is not good for Jai. Jai could go down soon, but we're seeing bounces from Milkshake. The nerves from E7 is really coming into play here. Jai is now dead. 6 versus 5 here. But I think the huge hit point pull advantage could be in favor of E7 now. M4 bounces onto Sugar and Muga. Tank Pro kills off Sugar and Muga now. 5 versus 5. The gun advantage is now removed from Feast. Looking at F Silver now, down to 1 shot. That's a Rose reloaded. Going to put a good shot into James. Second shell into James, I think. Oh, it's a bounce though. Tempo is fully reloaded, but will be blocked a little bit by Desert Rose, and will be killed by James. Bifrost is now dead. 4 versus 4. E7 is looking to shut down Slice of a Waifu and also Necromancer, and I think M4 will not kill off Necromancer, but it is going to be Milkshake doing the job. M4 kills off Slice of a Waifu. Now 2 more tanks remaining for Feast and Desert Rose in the AMX50B, looking for F Silver here. And it's going to be Tank Pro killing off F Silver now. Only 1 tank remaining. James is killed by Milkshake, and this game goes to E7. 4-1, 4-2 for E7. Well done to E7. They didn't panic at all. Did their best chipping away hit points of Feast despite losing a tank. Didn't panic. Feast reverted back to the old self. Too hesitant, and they really didn't finish the game off when they have a gun advantage, and also and also E7 also really defending well. There are tanks that are very far forward and under a hit point pool disadvantage, and now Feast with 3 tanks doing more than 2k and E7 5 tanks doing more than 2k. This game will go to Feast, so E7, and E7 will get another point, and Feast will not get another point. 4-2 for E7. Great job to E7. Oh wow. Took a deep breath. The tempo just... The rhythm is just too quick. I just can't catch everything. EA, can they pick up the first point? And they won't. They lost to HLV 4-2. and that means Madbox got everything correct. Outcome, I mean. I don't think they got any scoreline correctly at the moment. So what we are seeing here is that we're going to be seeing E7 now leading the table with 3 game wins. RN, Feast, and ID occupying the top 4 spots. Unfortunately, HLV still has 2 game wins. GB only has 1 game win. EA and Ho has yet to receive a single point. On the other hand, let's look at the Challengers tournament and see the results there. Oh, more than 100 views. Yes, thank you very much for this. NQV7 has lost to Dur 1-3 in that is okay. Madbox changed NQV7, I think. Madbox hates NQV7 a lot, so at times they will condemn NQV7 to a win. Just to allow NQ7 to lose. But jokes aside, Laos is through 3-0 to IB, so well done to Laos. And that would mean it's going to be between Quint and NQ7 now for the last spot in the final in the final stage. So great job to these teams here. Alright. We still, because the games finished really quickly, I think we have time to analyze matches. So just wait for another, until 20 minutes we will have another match. So I think we will go back and see the second match on Vineyards. That was such a good match from E7 there. Well, before I do this, I'm going to run Madbox. Hello Legacy, how are you doing? Ooh, M4 is natural. Oh, didn't know that. Okay, while we change now, let me just. We will follow next Feast versus GB. I think the rivalry. The old rivalry between Feast and GB, and I think the chat could be spammed soon about F Super. Well, anyway, where's my mouse pointer? I got it back now. Let's see what Madbox has to say about RN versus HL. I mean, the next matches we are seeing soon. Okay, we got it. RN to win HLV 4-3. Ho to lose to E7 2-4. EA to lose to ID 2-4 as well. And finally, we have Feast to lose to GV3-4. Interesting results. Interesting prediction. Unfortunately, we have NQE7 to beat Quid 3-0. And also IV to lose to 9v23 again. I think that's the same as before. I don't think there were any changes. No, well, actually forgot to load the right map, so sorry about that. I'm going to see changes in the score. Oh, we actually will see changes. So now, it is predicted RN to win 4-2 against HLV and EA to lose to ID 2-4 still. It's actually Ho to lose to E7 3-4. Meanwhile, the same for the challenges because I got the right maps. So there are no changes. I mean, IV versus 9V. I think before it was still the same scoreline. So despite IV winning against 9V previously, it didn't really change. Didn't really flip. That's good. Alright, so we got everything done. I mean, also looking at the challenges, we know Laos beat IV 3-0 to qualify to the grand final, and NQ7 lost to the 1-3. So there's another chance for the for NQ7 to qualify to the next stage. And next we have RM versus HLV, Ho versus E7, EA versus ID, and Feast versus GV. Currently, if you see the table, RMV's ID HLV tied with 2 points, E7 3 points, GV with only 1, EA and Ho still with 0. So I mean, the top four battle is going to be really competitive, as I predicted, on the Asia server, and that is what we want to see. The level of competition is really high on the Asia server, and I mean EU server. We will see tonight. Loka losing to APA could be a problem, but will Loka win 2 matches, 2 games tonight? That we'll see soon. Alright, let's analyze a match.
Tragedies and set our spirits free. Together we can bring back.
Oh, Luca. We'll follow next Feast versus sad. Spartan didn't get Emerald rivalry. Oh, Spartan didn't get Emerald. Oh, sad. Okay, let's go to second match on Vineyards Atlas. We analyze the Feast at the moment with versus E7. Here we go. Do you have Q point? No, no Q points for you. No. Is that the new word for keys? No, you don't have. You won't get any Q points or keys. So now we're going to analyze this match. So Vineyard's not lost so many. and double check whether I got everything correct on the other screen. Oh, yes, I got it correct. So everything is automated now, except Thomas Speed, except Mapbox, obviously. A page not found. Oh dear. It's a broken link. Well, I'll be just double checking with this link. Is it a broken link? If it's the case, then I would just unpin my message and pin Capsule's message instead. Without further ado, let's analyze this one. While we wait, the next match will begin in 3 past 12. 3 past 1 in my time, 3 past 8 in Hong Kong Standard Time. So let's go analyze this one. Oh, hello Firestorm. Hope you have a nice time watching my stream. Drinking tea. If E7 Emerald Rex giants my wife, I will sell my soul to. What is this? Firestorm. If you have no idea what's going to happen, I will take you back to the trivia. We'll talk about that because there's a lot of you watching this stream and no idea what is going on. I would brief you what's going to happen. So please stay in the stream after I analyze this match, pretty much. Feast red team this time going back to the northwestern corner and E7 blue team going to the southeastern corner. We're seeing Neff Silver in the back chat trying to get a really advanced position in the northwestern corner. I think looking to reset A, but no one's going for A. E7 is not going for A. M4 might be going for A. Or what will Feast think of a mouse trying to go for A? I think M4 is. Oh yeah, we do see some mouses going going near A, which I have no idea why, but potentially, yeah. The reason why I think it's quite weird is because near A, that this is quite an open area, as you can see. You could get shots from the middle. As you can see, F0 put a great shot into M4 as well. This is quite a very aggressive spot. Usually what F0 is trying to do is to reset A, but no one's going into A from E7, which is actually interesting. I like what E7 is trying to do, trying to get C, or maybe not. We're actually going past through C, going straight into the enemy spawn, and they will take some positions, and let's see what's going to happen. Assassin, hello Assassin, from Jokers. Well, please don't tell me E7 we have Assassin playing tonight on the Asian server, but that would be really fun. But looking at E7 going really aggressive already towards the Feast spawn, but they have taken some hits, and the hit points are now neck and neck. Oh, I'm really surprised that Nuggies and Fries can go there. It's kind of like an overlook from Feast. I think they should have maybe put some tanks near the middle. Like what Feast is trying to do, if you can see the bottom left corner, pretty much only occupy a quarter of the map. They really will not have map control, although they have a cap lead. That is really that can look a bit bad. But you have the ridges, so might not look too bad as it seems, but not getting a map control in the end could be a problem. But also could force the pressure onto A. So it's actually not something that it's a bad move from Feast. I do see what Feast is trying to do here. So maybe they're trying to pressure more onto A. If they can get hold of A, they will have a good line over to this area. Maybe if they can expand to the enemy spawn, but that there is a mouse, so that mouse could be a signal that E7 needs to rush onto the other side and maybe take hold of B. But we will see what's going to happen next. B has captured B first, so that means E7 has the stream ended on the page. Nope, it's still going. E7 is under a cap point disadvantage, but looking at E7 already being so aggressive, Nuggets and Fries already at the spawn of Feast, with A being captured by M4 soon. Oh, are we seeing Feast under pressure now, with E7 being very far forward, pressing hard onto Feast? We could see Feast making a rotation onto Nuggies and Fries. Nuggies and Fries will be under pressure now. 3 tanks onto one, potentially Desert Rose. I do have a bad feeling for E7 on this one. Oh yes, Nuggies and Fries is really far forward, but good that didn't take a lot of hits. Pretty much conserve the hit points, but you can see potentially now Feast going back. They could potentially go into these areas at the same time, but absolutely E7 has shots, cross shots, literally cross shots. Yeah. So that will make it difficult for Feast to push. But if Feast wants to push, they have to do it really decisively. But also at the same time, you have these 2 tanks, as you can see in the northwestern corner. There. So potentially could go. There are 2 tanks defending A. Go and down the middle, looking to shut the tanks, trying to get crossfire into Nuggies and Fries. So yes, so pretty much it requires quite a lot of coordination of Feast, but they have to make a decisive move on that, because E7 could do a lot of damage. If you hesitate, then you'll be under hit point disadvantage. Oh, I shared the wrong link. Let me just unpin my message. And pin it once again. Good. Going back to the analysis, hopefully something is showing. There we go. Let's see what's gonna happen. Nuggies and Fries doesn't seem to be well supported, but moving backwards, you have Bifrost also. I mean, looking at Bifrost, could have shots onto Nuggies and Fries, but no way GG has Nuggies and Fries covered there. And Feast is trying to push onto Nuggies and Fries, but they have lost so. Yeah, this is what I said about E7's crossfire, well positioned, and you have 2 tanks on it with the mouse there. That I think good job to E7. They worked their numbers really well. Crossfire, they worked it really well as well. Made it really difficult for Feast, and really slight hesitation from Feast cost them so many hit points. As you can see already, they are down by more than 3,000. So many hit points trying to do so, and they're now in deep trouble. So well done to E7, really providing great support to Nuggies and Fries. Now Desert Rose trying to come in to provide a horizontal straight line with Nuggies and Fries, making it even more difficult for Feast to make a push. Now Desert Rose. Desert Rose. Great counter push onto J, and now E7 making a counter push now that they're chipped enough hit points away from Feast. They don't have to do that actually, because they have both A and C, but if you are able to chip a lot of hit points away from Feast, then why not go for clinical finish? This is what we call a clinical finish from E7. Really well done there, and Feast was in deep trouble. Rose trying to put shots into James. And already now down to 1 shot, and James is now killed, and the turret flying. E7 now making a counter push onto Necromancer now. Necromancer in deep trouble. Desert Rose, not Desert Rose, looking to kill Necromancer, but that was a bounce, so it's not going to happen. It's going to obey the laws of physics and going to bounce somewhere else. Wow, that was just completely rubbish commentary right there. This is what happens when I fail to make a joke. To be captured by where GG looking at Feast are pretty much running around in different areas. They got A though, but that will not help a lot because they're going to lose Slice My Waifu soon, and that's the case. 4 versus 4, Lucky Surprise is now dead, and we are now seeing B getting captured by E7 as well. 2 caps for E7, and Milkshake going in alongside Temple, looking for Jai is My Waifu, and I think the focus is on there. Milkshake looking to put another shell onto Jai is My Waifu, and that is going to be a kill, but Bifrost looking to kill WereGG with that last clip, but that is not the case. F-Silver kill steals WereGG, and Bifrost must be very angry about this, but that doesn't matter at all because now 3 versus 3. Will Feast has a chance of winning against E7. Muga desperately. I mean, for this point, pretty much E7 got the win, and I think really it was down to the individual skills in the end. But really, E7 has still a lot of hit points still has a lot of hit points here, which is going to be really difficult for Feast to win it in the end. Oh, so now we're going into the waiting room, looking at Feast versus GV. We'll come back to the stream. We might analyze another match after that, and hopefully now we're going to be seeing Feast versus GV. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering what I will be doing after the other streams, I will have another stream tonight, and tomorrow I'll be following challenges upper and lower bracket first round, and that will also be covered by Eternal Zinzan, and that will be in Japanese, and then my fellow Rolling Swarm will cover on Sunday the Challengers Finals for the Asia server. Same thing for EU server. Tomorrow night I will be covering Challengers Tournament upper and lower bracket first round, and then it will be covered by Rolling Swarm for the finals. So don't miss that. And they will show some really good games. But obviously, if you want to get rewards, then obviously watch our streams. But you will receive lots of good stuff. So, and I think I will prepare. I'll prepare a filler for the Sunday stream because we know there is only one game. I'm going to show some of the best moments so far in the professionals tournament. So don't miss that. Complete entire stream on that, but I think it will be 7020p because YouTube cannot download 1080p 60. So I didn't record because potentially I'll just use a lot of my disk space, so that quality would suffer a little bit, but it should not impede the entertainment. Your entertainment is still really entertaining despite lower quality. But anyway, Feast, I digress, versus GV on Desert Sands, really about brawl now here because we are seeing a lot of action around the desert area, not a lot near the town area because defending the town is really difficult. The buildings are low. It's hard to spot the rush because you have the ridge with the train tracks that could block everything that's happening around the desert area. So potentially you could only spot tanks going up the rails and going into the city, and by the time they did that, it's going to be a bit hard to counter the push, and usually the push comes in multiple angles. So when you're defending C, you're defending flat ground, and this is going to be hard, and B is going to be hard to defend as well because the gap is kind of well shielded, well shielded from different angles. So all in all, don't go for the city side. It really seldom works unless you want to do a Mission Impossible. But we will see most of the action happening around the desert side. The reward is so bad that you're watching this on YouTube. Great. Great. I want to see more interaction with you. So hi, thank you, DD. You Spartans. Here we go. GB going with double I7 by Berlin and Doha. Triple M60 by Ho Chi Minh, Monaco and Tokyo. Professor in the Vickers Light and Nutbridge. 1 and 3 on the other hand. Feast. Triple M60s by Necromancer, Slice of my Wife and Sugar Mugu. James the Crown. Jahi in the U100 T22 by F Silver B Frost IS7. And I've run out of tea. I hope I won't be like last time where I starved myself, but I had a really great dinner yesterday. Like, I don't know why, but there's a certain recipe which I used to cook and I used for cooking, and it's just really good tasting. I think I cooked so much pasta yesterday, which I don't know. It's probably going to be enough for me to sustain for the next hour. But we are going in. I might actually do some stir fry after this one, so let's go in. Yes, Wargaming did a lot of expensive oopsies before, but I think so far the reward system is doing fine. So let's head up high now. Feast red team on the north spawn with blue team GB on the south spawn. Looking at F Silver here, we are seeing Professor being spotted. Ooh, misses around, but James gets shot at. Oh, shot at once again. Oh no, James took a bit of a hit there. But the head points are still in favor of GB. And ooh, we are hearing a miss from Jahi. I don't think it really hit anything. Where is he shooting though? Well, that's a really interesting question to ask. So trying to terrorize the people garrison this building, but no. Try to blind fire onto the rails and see if there is anyone there, but there is none. So at the moment it's kind of a stalemate situation with GB with a slight hit point pool advantage. But anything could happen at the moment. If Feast is able to put a shot into a tank from GB, that will flip the hit points back to their favor. But we're seeing Doha looking to go into A to cap it out. So far it's looking good for GB. And for Feast, they haven't been able to push shots into GB so far, and they don't have a cap lead. Jai's my wife is coming down the bridge, and let's follow Jai's my wife for now. But Nub Edge spotted up Jahi. Jahi reacts quickly enough not to get shot by Nub Edge at the moment, and Professor still not spotted. But if Professor spotted, I think Jahi could put a great edgy shell there. But I think Professor just really working diligently here, because if he's spotted, disaster will strike, and this is what you all want to do. F Silver capturing C, meaning GB, they know that they have an advantage, a numerical advantage around A. They now make a big push onto Jais my wife. Looking at Doha here, will they take out Jais my wife quickly enough? Great shot into Doha by Jais my wife. Jais my wife trying to block Doha to go behind, but now Doha has come behind. Feast is now reacting, but will it be a little bit too slow because Jai's wife is going to be under a lot of hit point disadvantage now. Nub Edge still trying to get Jai out of the way, but now Feast has reacted. F Silver is also really low, but they are not quick enough in killing off Jai's waifu. But the hit points are still in favor of GV at the moment. Jai is now dead, but F Silver is going to go down potentially to Professor, isn't it? No, it's going to be really close, but at the same time, lots of action happening around the middle area. But F Silver is trying to deal with Professor with GB trying to hold near the middle, but they're probably under a low ground. At the low ground, but F Silver will not kill off Professor. It's a miss right here. Professor can kill F Silver here. I think that shot will do the job. Sugar Mugu is also dead now. GB has a strong hit point advantage and also got advantage. James is now reloaded, looking to put shots into Monaco. Oh, but he's hesitating though. That's not good because he could have killed off Monaco in that situation. Now that James is looking to... Oh, it's a track shot onto Doha. Oh no, I think GB has this. GB has this. James is now down to a one shot, and Ho Chi Minh is now dead. 4 versus 5 at the moment. Necromancer is now dead. James is also dead. Slice and Rifle down to a one shot, will be killed as well. Tokyo is now dead. 1 versus 4. We can't do a Kolobanov here. And A could be captured by Feast, but that's not going to help at all. B4 Frost looking to get a consolation prize for a kill, but Professor's still alive because Professor won that 1 versus 1 against F Silver, and that is going to be a win to GB. Well done to GB here. Feast got a little bit too slow. Potentially, I think they set their front lines too backwards, and they spent so much time trying to react to that push from JB, and also F Silver capturing both A and B kind of dropped the ball and allowed GB to push, and that is a great timed push from GB. So sometimes you don't want to capture bases near the city because that would mean that you will have you're sending the message to the RT. You have a numerical disadvantage, and GB read it well. GB 5 times more in 2K Feast. I think they looked quite slow tonight. I mean, they are. They are struggling to keep up with the pace of a lot of teams, the fast-pacing teams tonight, and Feast. Well, they need to catch up with the tempo. At the moment here, GB looking really good. 1-0 for them. Now we're seeing Feast go with a triple IS7, a Crown Wagon, an M60, a Sugar Mugu in the Progetto, F Silver, the FP422 this time. GB on the other hand, double IS7, triple M60s, Model 3, and the Vickers Light. Okay, only 10 seconds remaining to go. We'll go back to Desert Sands and see what's going to happen here between Feast versus GB. Let's go in. Oh, we follow F Silver. I mean, we are automatically assigned to F Silver, so let's go for that. On the other hand, Professor, the Vickers Light, we could see GB crossing to Desert. Professor is spotted. F Silver spotted. F Silver, can they spot? Tanks crossing. Cannot spot Nub-ish though. Oh, Nub-ish spotted. Ho Chi Minh spotted. Nub-ish stopped momentarily though. F Silver. Oh, we are seeing more tanks spotted for GB though. They're taking some hits. They've stopped in the middle there. Oh, but we're actually seeing a big push coming down there. In the middle, the double I7 against 3 tanks of Feast. Triple I7 versus double I7. Who will win this one? Necromancer is going to put shots not into I7 because I don't think he has enough gun suppression for that. But Giants, my wife, is now really low. Could be killed off by Nub-itch very soon. This is descended into Pandemonium. And Nub-itch is going to go down looking for Bifrost next. Berlin still alive. And Nub-itch will be killed by F Silver. Now it's a 6 versus 6 situation with Bifrost going to be no more soon. It's going to be a great shot onto no one. Berlin's now killed with Slice of a Wife, a great shot onto Doha. Bifrost now down to a 2-shot. Monaco, great shot to Bifrost, will be killed by Doha. And it's now 5 versus 5 now. Hit points still neck and neck. Necromancer still holding on in around the B area. Could be landing a good shell into Monaco, and that's the case. Second shell onto Monaco, yes. And the last shell onto Monaco will kill Monaco off. 5 versus 4. And now the advantage, oh my goodness me, the turrets momentarily hit onto someone. We saw the hit points drop so quickly onto some tank, but we didn't catch that though. But now Ho Chi Minh is going to be taken out soon. The focus fire from Feast is really good here. Slice by Wife looking to get that shot onto Ho Chi Minh, and that turret will not land onto somewhere, and Doha will get swarmed by those Feast tanks and will be taken out soon by Slice by Wife leaving Tokyo. The next person to be focused for Feast. And we're now seeing Feast ignoring B entirely. They know they can kill it. They can finish the game off with the 2 more kills. Professor's still really healthy though. And that could be the main issue. I mean, F Silver has fewer hit points than Professor. Professor can do a lot of great stuff here. Let's follow Professor for now. Oh, took a hit from James. Necromancer bounces onto Professor. Oh, down to 1 shot now. But Tokyo is dead. 4 versus 1. I don't think there's a chance for Professor now. This will go to hello, Nintendo Sinza. How are you doing? Great to see you back. And great to see you following challenges here. But we're now seeing Slice of Waifu going up. And looking at that. Swarming into Professor. Oh, 1-1. 1-1 to Feast. Well done. Feast, 4 tanks doing more than 2k, GV, 2 tanks doing more than 2k. We're now on to Mayan Ruins, and I think what Feast did really well this time, they focused fire better, respawned better in the middle area. They were closer this time, and GV, I think when they got spotted while trying to cross, that kind of threw their plans that kind of threw them off guard, and they had a plan A, but they didn't really have a plan B, and they really struggled to improvise. And you can see Feast in more control in that match. And now we're going to be seeing GV double 50B, an IS7, an M60, a Vegas Light, a VK, and a mouse going with Feast. Another VK72. I think this is the first time we're seeing 2 VKs across the board. Oh, Chargers side delivery is over. Oh, the Chargers have finished. So let's see the results of Chargers then, if that's the case. No, it's not over. It's not over yet. You have grand finals. Grand finals. You have grand finals to stream. Don't end your stream yet. Oh my god, don't end your stream, you still have a match. Don't do that. Hopefully didn't do that. You still have your stream still. NQE7 3-0 against Quint, and IV knocked 9B out now. Once again. We didn't get the score. Feast! Triple M60Os, 1 VK. Oh, that's an interesting camel name. Double IS7 and 50B. Let's set up high now. Feast. We have on the red team, south spawn this time, GB blue team on the north spawn. Let's go for Berlin here. Going to the middle side, folks saying GB is the best. It seems that people have, well, that's not recall what happened there that caused the rivalry. But anyhow, C will be captured by Tokyo potentially. And that will be the case. GV will have a cat lead, but Professor took a hit there. Interesting because it's a tight angle to take a hit, so that is probably not the best start for GB. They have the cap, so at least that is something that GB can work with. But V's already getting really aggressive near B, so can James do a lot of stuff near this area? But Novich try to push out onto Necromancer. No, Necromancer some sort of trouble. And we are seeing Necromancer. Oh, Berlin actually in deep trouble now. Getting heavily focused, could be taken out soon by Feast's forces. Oh, and oh, good. You have your stream still running. But Doha is going to brawl with James. Berlin is dead. Tokyo is actually isolated. I think Feast has the advantage here. Tokyo is heavily isolated and GB is not quick enough to take out James here. They are hesitating a little bit. I think that also because they don't have the numerical advantage, GB needs to come in, and you see Monaco getting absolutely eviscerated. There is lack of communication on GB right here. And Doha, great shell into James, but get absolutely mullered. That leaves 4 tanks still remaining for GB. Once again, the focus fire from Feast and GB, the lack of communication, and also that tank's positioning was questionable. The lack of communication is really showing here. Feast now looking for Norwich here. They really picked themselves back up after the loss against D7 here. Nob is trying to run away, but GB is really falling apart right now. And James is going to be a one shot still. Will be the first tank down for Feast actually, but already 4 tanks down for GB. Ho Chi Minh is dead, Notbridge is dead, 5 tanks down already. GB, 2 more tanks remaining alive. GB really struggling at the moment here. If it continues this way, I think it could end 4-1 to Feast. But at the moment we're seeing a 2-1 now. Tokyo is the last person standing. They need to pick themselves back up. Berlin needs a really good pep talk. They are really struggling at the moment here. Great shot from oh, well, that's a splash, I would say. Tokyo is now dead. And here we go. Feast, 4 tanks doing more than 2k, and GV, 4 tanks doing more than 2k. Great job to Feast, and GV struggling. Really struggling. I think quite a lot of isolated tanks, and the middle side was not well coordinated. I think there's tanks like on the other side, like the left side of the middle, didn't really got a little bit was caught daydreaming a little bit, and they really didn't make use of that and try to counter Feast's aggression. And I mean, Feast getting a little bit more aggressive now, and that really helped them a lot. And they are now leading 2-1, and that is looking good. And what happened to IV versus 9V? We will see that here. And it's going to be 3-1 again for IV against 9V. Okay, so we'll update that. So that means tomorrow on the Asia Server Challenges tournament, I will be following. We will be seeing the NQV7 Laos and also IV. Okay, back to the stream. My Ruins, we are seeing triple M60Os, double 50Bs, a double IS7 GB going with double mouse, double M60Os, an IS7, a Vickers Light, and a 50B. Let's see how many people are watching. Hopefully we have more people watching. 68 viewers. We're seeing some really good matches here so far, so hopefully more people will join, and hopefully more people will get the rewards. Let's head up high again. Feast versus GB. With Feast this time from the north spawn again. GB blue team from the south spawn. We're just going to go to Professor. Feast going with no mediums or lights. Interesting, but My Ruins is known for for a heavy map. But will that mean that Feast might have less information to work with? This is something we will see soon. Professor spawning up Necromancer. Dude, for real. Anyway, C could be captured by Feasted, but we are seeing A getting captured more quickly from GB. Jai's with waifu. At that area, we'll be looking for Professor potentially. And oh yes, Professor's slowing up Jahi, but Professor's not spotted, however. No damage been done from Jahi, but that blind fire didn't hit anything except the mountain, which could cause a landslide. And I don't think any weather agencies have issued a landslide warning. So unfortunately, we aren't seeing any landslides. So the road's not been blocked. The lane's not been blocked, so GB can still have tanks crossing the area. I mean, Jai's trying to initiate more landslides. Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, Wargaming can consider this. Initiate a mechanic so you can initiate a landslide to block a lane. And how much more fun this game could be. But I think it could be very demanding with the coding, but it seems that Jahi is wasting the shells. Doesn't matter at this point. Tournaments, it's there for you to waste your heat and so on, because what matters more is the wins. Wins matters a lot more than, you know, wasting credits on heat. Because, you know, if you win, you actually could win some monetary prizes if you know that $50,000 are up for grabs for the top 4 rewards. And Professor's trying to run away. I think Necromancer could have something here. It's getting onto something here, but it hasn't taken a lot of hits, so that means Feast is trading better than GB at the moment. They are still pressing onto GB. They are trying their best. GB is now struggling. Feast is now getting more map control. GB now struggling to hold. You're seeing tanks quite out in the open, and GB is losing a lot of hit points, trying to make a counter push onto those IS-7 right now. Professor leading the charge, or maybe the Monaco leading the charge. We could see Feast making a push on the other side soon. IS-7 can't, I mean, Bifrost and Necromancer can't hold here for long. And they really need to do something on the other side. We are seeing James bouncing onto, missing onto Professor, actually really low in hit points, actually getting shut down by Nubedge with Jai's wife killing off Tokyo. We are seeing now the 50 Bs coming for a counter push onto Ho Chi Minh and Monaco. Hit points still in favor of Feast, but it's a 6 vs 6 situation. Monaco is now dead. Sugar and Muga looking for Berlin next. No, it's going to be Ho Chi Minh. It's going to be the case. Berlin is taking a lot of heads to focus on Berlin. We're seeing Feast really getting the focus fire in once again. Berlin is now dead. It's now 6 vs 3 looking at Feast. Jai's waifu onto Nubedge potentially, but it's a mouse. But they have to focus the mouse because they're only 2 mouses for GB, and they are pretty much far at the front, and you can't really chase down Professor at the moment. It will look really silly if Feast ignore those mouses, but Nubedge is now down to 1 shot. Will be killed soon. And great shot to Doha by Slice waifu, and Jai's waifu will kill off Nubedge. And Doha, the next tank down, potentially F Silver 1 vs 1 against Professor. Going into his perspective, I think this time F Silver will get his revenge onto Professor, and surely he did. 3-1 to Feast, one more win, and this game will go to Feast. Feast on the match point now. Will GB get? Okay, it's on to Berlin right now. GB, are they going to make a comeback? They are kings of comeback. I mean, they're well known for their comebacks, but is it going to be too much for GB because they are really looking very lackluster at the moment, and they're struggling pretty much. And I think that last match, pretty much I'm not sure if they allowed Feast to be that aggressive, but they had so many tanks onto an open area that allowed Feast to farm so much damage. And Feast, I mean, they got a good momentum. They approached, they pushed the line forward slowly and did well. And GB was not holding well at all. I don't know why they're taking these positions, but they're trying to make a counter push. But I mean, the hesitation really cost. It really looked like the GB is defending in open air, in open positions, and with GB losing so many hit points, Feast didn't really have to fight really hard despite being in a cap disadvantage. And now Alpenstadt. What are we going to be seeing here? Let's see about Ho. We need to see Ho. Hopefully they can win something. Not to now 0-4. Just hope that it's not going to be another washout for Ho. They're still playing against E7, so at least they are still trying their best. As for EA, against Ivy, they're still playing. What about HLV? They're still playing against RN, so I think no games tonight going to be ending 0-4 or something like that. Let's go in now. Hello Joseph, how are you doing? Okay, let's get into this match and see what's going to happen. Feast, red team, GV, blue team. Alright, Feast. Red team on the north side. This time, GV blue team. As I always say, you have the advantage on the north side when it comes to caps. But F Silver's going to get really aggressive in the spots. So I like that. F Silver's doing spots and not going for a cap at the start because you don't know where GV's going. Pretty much the lineup is not saying much. And F Silver, ooh, spotting up 4 tanks, going back into this area. We'll get enough information for Feast to work with, and Feast is going taking a lot of tanks near A, so it doesn't matter if they don't have a cap. But Professor could go into C. That could initiate a response from Feast to either be aggressive or near A. They could make a push on A, I would say, or maybe they would go for B, but it will be hard. I think Feast needs to make a move now that GV is capturing both B and C, but their inaction could be a problem. They're now going for A. Are they going for a push? Double I7s of James and B Frost. They can't reset B, however. I think they might be lining up for a push near A. Sugamuga now going for A. Feast trying to distract those forces, trying to reset A. No, a big push is coming from Feast onto GB. It could be a bit too late though. The middle side could be falling apart a little bit, but now the push has come in. And Ho Chi Minh could be the focus for Feast. And 5 vs 2. Oh, GV. They are not defending well here. Berlin is too far back. Monaco too far back. Already Ho Chi Minh is taken out. And Tokyo could be next tank down very quickly. And it will be the case soon. And F7 is almost reloaded. Will kill off Tokyo. 2 tanks down for GB already. And Joyce Mottwife was killed in the middle. Necromancer is going to go down on a drone reload. A great shot to Professor by someone. I can't see that. But Necromancer. Burnett needs to land that shot onto Necromancer. And no, Necromancer bounced once. Burnett unable to put a shell onto Necromancer to get it off. And Necromancer is able to put a shot onto Monaco now. 5 vs 5. With Bifrost going to land a big HE shell onto Monaco. I'm not sure if that's a max roll. I don't think that was a max roll though, but Monaco's now down to 1 shot and rammed by Slice by for 5 vs 3 right here. Bifrost, they are now focusing the mouse because there are only 2 mouse left remaining. Once again, it's the same situation as last match on Maya Ruins. The Vegas Light will take a really long time, and once again, F7 loves to brawl with Professor. We're seeing who will win this 1 vs 1. It will be F7 once again, not Professor. That means it's going to be 3 vs 2. Looking at Doha is going to be really low. Slice by Waifu. Great shot into Doha. Shugu and Mugu. Great kill onto Doha, leaving Knob Edge the last person standing. Thank you for subscribing, Crips. Thank you very much. Road blockage. I think it's called a talk. but talk is not tier 10, so no road blockage there. We do see road blockage from time to time on New Bay. I think I only see it once, but it's possible. Notbish is now the last person standing, so really I don't think it's able to kill a tank, but GV has captured B, so we're seeing F still looking to get B back. Great shot from Sugamuga onto Nutmage. It is the case. Yes, GB feels quite disorganized. Yes, I agree with that. B has been captured, and now Nutmage. No more cap points of increase for GB. GV, they will need to surrender now. If he's looking very strong here. Feast, I mean, looking very strong here. Slice of Waifu coming in to get Nubbish out of the way, but bounces in. Slice of Waifu will make sure Nubbish is killed. 4-1 for Feast. And now we're seeing Feast 4 times do more than 2k. Giants of my Waifu did 0 damage, so Spartan, I need to have a word with you about that. You know you can get fired from this, right? So yeah. GV 4 tanks doing more than 2k, but that was a solid move from Feast. I mean, that is to be expected. A push from Feast onto the northwestern corner, because pretty much GV initiated respawns there, capturing both B and C at the same time, really sending the message for Feast that they have a numerical disadvantage on the other hand. So we see, I mean, the numerical advantage at GV, I mean, that is not a good defensive setup. 2 tanks, I mean, it's a stratified defensive setup situation. It's not a horizontal straight line. That means it's kind of easy for Feast to get the focus fire in, and they did, and they killed those Amtexio really quickly. Tokyo and Ho Chi Minh and Monaco, and also Berlin stayed a little bit too far back, not coming into support, which really didn't help matters at all in the end. Like Feast just took hold of that corner very quickly, and GV, I mean, they weren't slow in the middle. Like, they killed Giants over quickly too, but losing 2 tanks so quickly, it was not going to be a good idea. And they don't have a gun advantage to work with, and now it's 4-1 for Feast. I realized I forgot to include results of the previous one, so let me just include that as well. So I might there might be changes with Mapbox, which is actually, I forgot to do that. I will include that. Just tell me I can stand the truth. For everything we hope to never lose. 'Cause everything we want, oh, is everything we need. Just like I need you. Oh, it's just like you need me. So I'm going to tweak a bit with Mapbox. I'll be back soon and see if we'll see any changes with anything with the predictions actually. Family I used to have. I feel like everything's so different now. Sitting by the fire as we'd watch the flames burn out. I miss the days I wasn't afraid. Now I always have my guard up. Hands on my face, I learned to cope with the pain. I know that people think I'm trying to get attention, but in reality I'm trying to send a message. I know there's kids out there that are going through the same thing, and if you're one of them, I hope to help your suffering. Just know it will get better, and these feelings do not stay the same. No, they don't stay the same. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. Hmm. And yes, no changes. That's good. No changes to predictions. How about if I, yeah, because I've put it today. Yeah, I don't think it matters at all. So good. No, now we're back. Let's see. We have more results from other groups. And that's what we're going to see very soon. Okay, let's go for RN versus HLV. Oh, 4-1 to RN. Well done to RN. E7 versus Ho. 4-1 to Ho. Ho is trying. Definitely trying, but I think E7 is just a bit too much for them. But EA versus ID. And it will end 2-4 for EA. That was close. That was close, but not enough. We do see like a top 4 now, probably. Like ID looking more like likely to get a top 4, but still, there are still matches to go. Currently, top 4 we have E7, RN, Feast, and ID. 5th place we have HLVGV with 6. In the 6th place, only with 1 game win, and EA. And Ho still with 0 points, but EA has already won 9 matches. So that is that I think EA would have a win sooner or later, but they still don't. I mean, looking at the schedule for the 3rd of October, we will have Feast against EA, GB against E7. I mean, and RN against E7 as well. So that means, I mean, E7. I think also is going to be an interesting one thing. An important result against Feast. I think RN could be another tough opponent for E7. I have to say. On the other hand, we have GB next up. They have Ho and E7. Ho, they should be able to pick a point there. It's going to be hard. EA, we have Feast and Ho. And yeah, EA versus Ho is going to be interesting to watch. That's going to be pretty much the battle between the 7th and the 8th place. On the other hand, we have Feast going for HLV and also EA. So another 2 points they can gain. And HLV against Feast and also ID. Battle for top 4 obviously for HLV and RN. Finally they will be against ID. So lots of amazing and interesting matches to watch 2 days after. And we'll see you there. And that's for Challengers Tournament. We know that the top 4 for Challengers Tournament will be Laos, IV, 9V, and also NQE7. For now, I think you can still earn some rewards. I think I will have the stream to run until I'm going to analyze a match, and let's actually follow. The second match on oh no, let's go for the Alpenstadt match, because that's something that I think we can talk a lot about that. Okay, let's go in. Hey, there we go. This time, GB blue team, as I always say, you have the advantage on the north side when it comes to caps. But F Silver is going to get really aggressive in the spots. So I like that. F Silver is doing spots and not going for a cap at the start. Oh, so what F Silver might be trying to do is to spot tanks, trying to go into C, and also trying to go to the other side. So that's actually a good spot for F Silver there. Yep, so you can see F Silver can pretty much spot tanks there. I'm not sure he actually spotted tanks crossing into C though, but that could be important information. But because you don't know where GB's going, pretty much the lineup is not saying much. And F Silver, ooh, spotting up 4 tanks, going back into this area. 5 actually. We'll get enough information for Feast to work with, and Feast is going taking a lot of tanks near A, so it doesn't matter if they don't have a cap. But Professor could go into. We didn't see Professor being spotted though, so to see that could initiate a response from Feast. So because they saw like all the other non-mouse tanks going into the northwestern corner. Except the Vickers Light, obviously, and the mouse can't be that quick to see, right? So that also means that they spotted Doha early on as well, I believe. So if not been spotted, they know that 2 mouses are on B, 2 mouses on B, 1 tank on C. That should be enough for Feast. They have mostly they have tanks near the northwestern corner. The mouses aren't very quick in rotation. Pretty much a signal for Feast to make a push. To either be aggressive or near A, they could make a push on A, I would say, or maybe they would go for B, but it will be hard. I think Feast needs to make a move now that GB is capturing both B and C, but their inaction could be a problem. They're now going for A. Are they going for a push? Double I7s of James and B Frost. They can't reset B, however. I think they might be lining up for a push near A. Sugarbuga now going for A. Yeah, this is what I'm expecting. But the problem with GB here, stratified, especially when they don't have the numerical advantage, stratified formation. So they really need to have these tanks pulling back. Although you will get shot by these M60Os and these tanks potentially to distract these M60Os, so that it will be equal trading. So that's in the end you will get a horizontal straight line. The stratified formation, as I always say, the problem is that is pretty obvious into knowing which tank to go for first, because obviously the tanks that are further ahead, closer distance and probably more vulnerable, so you would go for these M60Os first. And let's see what's going to happen next.
Feast trying to distract those forces, trying to reset A. No, a big push is coming from Feast onto GB. It could be a bit.
I mean, although at the same time, GV, because no, they are going to be rushed. They are trying to their best to be quick on Tajahi, which did 0 damage in the end. That's a good move in the middle, but in this area, it's really not good. Really not good defensive setup we're seeing here.
Too late though. The middle side could be falling apart a little bit, but now the push has come in. And Ho Chi Minh could be the focus for Feast. And 5 vs 2. Oh, GV. They are not defending well here. Berlin is too far back. Monaco too far back. Already Ho Chi Minh is taken out. And Tokyo.
And look at how quick lost M60. The focus fire really shines through here. They took out Jai. Yes, it's out 1 tank down for both teams, but they're going to lose Tokyo very quickly too. So 2 tanks down already for GV, and it took some hits as well from the middle, I believe. Like there's a tank in the middle, obviously.
Tokyo could be next tank down very quickly, and it will be the case soon.
And I like that you don't need 5 tanks onto 1, so they are sending the M60Os onto the other tanks instead, and F Silver is tasked to kill off Tokyo. So also great great job with the numbers as well for Feast.
And F7 is almost reloaded, will kill off Tokyo, 2 tanks down for GB already, and Jai's Mod 1 was killed in the middle. Necromancer is going to go down on a drum reload. Great shot to Professor by someone.
At the point, it's still close to call, but I would say it's still close to call, really. GB hasn't lost this yet, though. They also have 2 caps, so that is going to give them less pressure, but I think Feast, they need to get the tanks out as soon as possible.
Can't see that, but Necromancer. Burnin needs to land that shot onto Necromancer, and no, Necromancer bounced once. Burnin unable to put a shell onto Necromancer to get it off, and Necromancer is able to put a shot onto Monaco now.
Oh, that's pretty much shows that Feast has really good focus fire, I think, I believe, and then I think we'll be seeing once again 1 vs 1 F Silver and also Monaco. Yes, Professor Monaco, Tokyo, Professor and F Silver 1 vs 1. This is what we will always want to see. Probably we will see that once again. GV vs Feast in the second time, because it's a double round robin. Each team will play another team twice.
5 vs 5 with Bifrost going to land a big HE shell onto Monaco. I'm not sure if that's a max roll. I don't think that was a max roll though. But Monaco's now down to 1 shot and rammed by Slice about 5 for 5.
So I think GB, what cost them the game in the end also is they lack the focus. They have a lot of fights happening in different angles, and also they don't have a numerical advantage, so that is not something that is desirable for GB.
Versus 3 right here. Bifrost. They are now focusing the mouse, because there are only 2 mouse left remaining. Once again, it's the same situation as last match on Maya Ruins. The Vegas Light, it will take a really long time, and once again, F7 loves to brawl with Professor. We're seeing who will win this 1 vs 1. It will be F7 once again, not Professor.
Yeah, this is pretty much going to show like Feast. This is how important sometimes caps can do to your team. It is good for getting a cap lead, but at the same time also will give information for the other team. Maybe they will initiate a red show. Sometimes getting a cap can be a good move, can be a bad move, so it's not always a good move. So we're going back, and hopefully we will still have some time. Other than that, I need to go off a little bit, and we will. I don't think we'll have any results soon for the challenges. But if you have gotten all your rewards, then go ahead and watch Eternal Zinzan's stream. He's still streaming, I believe. I think Group 1 is what he's going to follow. NQE7 versus Stir, interesting one. Go and follow his stream. Other than that, I'll see you soon. And I'll head off soon. Bye for now.